So this is where it all began, bro. For me, at least.
Not for me.
Do you remember coming here back in the day?
Wow, I'm just saying, I remember watching you against Carlisle, I believe, with Cuz.
Ironically enough.
Yeah. When it was temporary stands and gravel footpaths, but a long time ago.
So much has changed, and so much has changed for us.
I know. How was it for you? It's coming into a man's world at 16 and...
We're looking back with hindsight, because we know what happened.
Yeah.
You know, you look. If I look at that period of time in context, it was just me enjoying the newfound freedoms of life, and I left Blackpool, went down to QPR, and started playing for England under-21s, and the world is growing, opportunities growing. Yeah. But I've got to say that in that, the distance between me and you, me and mum and dad, and those who were my close relationships as a kid, they just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Do you reckon there's something I could and should have done about that, or we could and should have done about that?
I think you've got to be careful, because you don't want to apportion blame in that. That was the dynamics of our relationship, you know, like, we're as tight as we are now because of what we've gone through.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was part of our survival, your survival. You know, I couldn't let you go because I was worried about you dying. You didn't want to let go of my relationship because I was a true friend to you at that time and a brother. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard comparing where we are now to where we were then. We didn't know any better. There was no option not to act, you know, and I think our relationship has obviously developed from that because of the truth that we spoke to each other. It was no holds barred, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. You know, and that's what relationship is. That is what true relationship is. It's just being absolutely truthful. You know, as warts and all, as difficult as it is. But, you know, you were fortunate. You've got people like that around you who cared enough and loved and could have the difficult conversations and be in some of the worst possible places ever. I've seen you in places, bro, and in conditions that no brother should ever have to see. You know, I remember fighting mum and dad at the doors to the hospital, refusing to let them see you after when you went in front of the truck. They didn't deserve to see the sun like that. Do you know what I mean? It's because that's what you do for people that you love. You protect them and you're there when you need them.
With that came an inability to express to people that actually, football's great, but this part of my life is absolutely terrible, or that part of my life is devastating. And not only that, Marv, it wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
You know, when were we ever taught to talk?
No.
When were we ever taught to share, you know, what's going on and that it mattered?
Never.
It never, so...
Especially to the outside world, you know, everything was shut down.
Definitely.
Nobody knows our business. You know, that's a generational thing, isn't it? You know, you just keep things in-house, say nothing, shut up shop and just pretend everything's all right. Knowing how close I am to you now, it's so hard to know that you were in that place and not have been there for you, bro.
There's no responsibility in that, bro. You know, how could you know? How could you know? How could anybody know? Because I wasn't in a place where I knew I needed to share it. Everything that I knew at that time was deal with it.
Yeah.
This is your problem, so you need to fix it or deal with it or manage it.
Yeah.
And all I knew at 21 was that football was the reason that my life was all right.
Yeah.
And without it, I had nothing.
Yeah.
It's incredible that after my first suicide attempt, 2001, I don't think I told anybody about it other than those who were in the immediate environment. Didn't tell my family. And that there, I know, is the beginning of my depression because of that trauma.
Wow, okay.
And I found that out subsequently. But I didn't get officially diagnosed until 2010.
Right.
So that's 9 years of me living with depression, with heavy depressive episodes, and me managing them, not knowing that it's a thing in the only way that I could. What did that look like to you?
You just looked a mess, bro. It was just waiting for the time that that the wheels fell off again. You know, from the outside they just looked like benders for no reason at all. They didn't look like there was any mental health reason for them. You're just like, yeah, he's on a bender again. You know, and it was always, from the football perspective, you were always looking outside of you and mental health, because it wasn't a consideration. It was just being a boy. You know what I mean? And yeah, under a bit of pressure, because football was a high pressure environment. You were working your way up the leagues with, you know, the clubs you were at, and it was like, yeah, he just needs an out, and that was it, and that's how it looked. And we just hoped and prayed that, you know, it didn't go too far, that you ended up locked up or, you know, very poor decision.
And that's exactly what I did with my depression. I got the diagnosis in 2010, but didn't pay any mind to it until I put myself in front of a lorry in 2014.
Wow.
Just one continual depression.
Yeah. That's scary.
2014 was my third suicide attempt. And that's when I put myself in front of a lorry, 60 miles an hour, outside York. And I can vividly remember leading up to it. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. Ever. You know, overriding that basic human instinct to survive. I remember walking the walk and planning the timing of it and everything, you know, quite meticulously to make sure that I got it right. Do you know what? I'm going to end this once and for all, because I can't stop it coming back. I don't want to be a burden, but I do understand that other people's lives are affected now by my choice.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around Liverpool looking for a responsible way to die.
Walking around Liverpool, while me, Bianca and Julie were looking around Manchester expecting to find your body.
Yeah.
Thank God we didn't, though.
Amen. I'd just been walking around the docks at Liverpool and I sat on a park, and these two guys came up and they'd seen on Twitter that you're looking for me, and they wouldn't leave my side. And that's where my journey changed, because from there I was taken to a police station for my safety, and then to NHS hospital. And I don't want to say that I changed at that moment in time, because it's not as though just because the world caught up with me then that everything was fixed. It wasn't. You know, I still went, for the next 10 days, 2 weeks, I still didn't want to be on this earth. But something changed in the care that I was given. I was given a plan. I was given a different type of therapy that I hadn't tried before. An accurate diagnosis and lowered medication. And also a consultant psych who said, in no uncertain terms,
You can get
if you don't want to be here, you won't be here. But if you do want to be here, you're going to have to start working at this.
Yeah.
And that kind of put the power within me.
Yeah.
To start to do something about
so
my
moved
life.
from that hopeless state to I can actually affect.
Exactly. I can have some element of input into this journey, and aside, we'll try a new one next time.
But in its simplest terms, I know people might take from this the hard work and everything, but in the simplest terms, it's so beautiful what you're doing, because it's actually a journey to understanding and becoming fully who you are.
Yeah.
And that, how could anyone turn that down? You know, I'm on that journey at the minute. You know, I know I can always better myself. I know there's limitations. And for people with mental health issues, it's so twisted that the lies that people tell themselves from an unwell mind, that they're never going to get beyond this. You're in that place. You're never going to get beyond this. I'm unfixable. I'm always going to feel like this. They're lies. You can get better.
And not only get better, bro, you can. I'm better than I've ever been.
Yeah.
You know, my capabilities now are beyond what I've ever done.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm not fighting every day.
Yeah.
You know, I have that time to plan and make sure that I'm doing things at times that are right and good for me.
For you, yeah.
And if I have to change things, then I'll change them.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Because if I'm on top form, then that's how I can fulfill all of these roles.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm not on top form, then all I'm going to do is do everyone else a disservice and myself, because I'll feel like a failure when I get home.
So it's been a hell of a journey for you, really, bro, and you've learned so much along the way. Obviously doing great work in mental health now.
Thank you.
You can tell it's you. It's a big part of you now, isn't it? So what would... Obviously things were very different back then, but what would you say to someone in your position now? If you were that guy on the street and you saw someone who was suicidal, what would your approach be? What would you say?
Well, we actually get quite a few of them, Mark. You know, and it's awesome that they get in touch. Guys are around our age, you know, under 50, let's say.
Yeah.
And they are feeling a lot of the stuff that we've talked about and done is resonating with them, especially about the upbringing, you know, and what it is to be a man and all of this stuff that's preventing them from sharing what they're going through. And I say the same to all of them. I don't know what your answer is.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know what my answer is.
Yeah.
But I know how you can go about finding out what yours is.
Yeah.
And it's by this. You know, the first step, I say, is the START programme.
Yeah.
So that you understand where you are at now.
Yes.
You know, but we try and diagnose each other and say, oh, but I did this and you know, my friend did that. It's utterly irrelevant because we're guessing where this person's starting from.
Yeah.
Take all the guesswork out of it.
Yeah.
Do the Goldberg test. Take it to your GP.
Yeah.
Phone the START team.
Yeah.
Find out where you are.
Yeah.
And it's from there you can start a plan to move forward and stop guessing.
Yeah.
You know, trying to encourage people to keep talking.
Yeah.
I think it's really important who you're talking to.
Definitely.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, you need people around you that you can trust implicitly.
It most definitely is. And if I felt that I didn't have those people around me, you know, that moment of relief that I felt sharing with a stranger was definitely the beginning of my journey.
Yeah.
Because I immediately felt that release.
Yeah.
So when we encourage people to keep talking, even if you don't have that one person, that trusted or loved family member around you, because some people aren't as blessed as us to have that, it's imperative that you find someone and tell someone. Because like you said, there are people out there who not only can help, but they want to.
Yeah, people need to trust the system, don't they?
This is amazing for me because this is the first opportunity beyond working with Carrie that people get to see the extent of love and work that there is in being well.
Yeah.
You know, I do a lot of work, Carrie and I do a lot of work together. It's so much more than just me, so much more than just us. You know, all of our family have come on the way, and it's been incredible.
It's been hard, but it's certainly been beneficial.
I wouldn't have made it without you, bro. And it's true.
I wouldn't without you. Because I love you, bro.